Welcome to this explainer. Waste management is about a whole lot more than just taking out the trash. Today, we're dissecting the severe and honestly often overlooked realities of workforce health and safety within an industry that we literally rely on every single day. We're going to look closely at the human element of the operations that keep our modern world functioning.
When you picture waste management, you probably just think of a routine garbage truck route, right? Or maybe a local recycling center. But it's really critical to ask ourselves, how hazardous is this line of work, actually? We tend to take for granted the intricate and highly physical systems required to process municipal solid waste, hazardous materials, and recyclables, the whole shebang. Behind the scenes, this environment is intense. Heavy machinery is absolutely everywhere, and the margins for error, they are incredibly slim.
Listen to this. The stark reality pulled directly from the Sustainability Accounting Standards Board, or SASB, is super sobering. Their industry standard explicitly states, and I quote, "The waste management industry has higher fatality rates than most industries." I mean, let that sink in for a second. This isn't just a tough job. It's a statistically perilous one. These hazardous working conditions make safety not just a simple compliance check, but an absolute, literal life or death priority.
So here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. The hidden industry dangers. 2. Causes of the crisis. 3. The cost of inaction. 4. Building a safety culture. 5. Measuring safety with data. And finally, 6. Tracking transportation incidents. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. Causes of the crisis. Unpacking the hazards.
Let's dive straight into the core of the problem and pinpoint exactly what's causing these severe injuries and tragic fatalities. The industry data actually highlights 3 massive daily hazards for workers. First up, transportation incidents. Think of 20-ton trucks navigating totally unpredictable local traffic, narrow neighborhood streets, and severe weather. Second is direct contact with hazardous objects and massive, unforgiving heavy equipment. And third, exposure to harmful substances. Whether they're collecting standard municipal waste or managing complex, toxic landfill leachates, workers are constantly interacting with incredibly dangerous and unpredictable environments.
Crucially, we have to make a distinction regarding who is actually doing this work. The data shows that temporary or contract workers are at a massively increased risk compared to direct employees. Why is that? Well, it's mostly because they often lack comprehensive training or prior industry experience. When you place inexperienced contract workers right on the front lines of an industry with inherently high fatality rates, the risk just multiplies exponentially.
Section 2. The cost of inaction. The financial and regulatory stakes.
Ignoring these human risks doesn't just cost lives, it severely impacts the operational and financial health of the business itself. You see, a poor safety record is just the first domino. It inevitably triggers these heavy, crippling financial fines and penalties from authorities. And that cascades right into saddling the company with increased, super expensive regulatory compliance costs and highly stringent oversight. Failing to protect workers fundamentally threatens the financial sustainability of the entire waste management entity.
Section 3. Building a safety culture. Proactive solutions to save lives.
So what's the fix? How do industry leaders actively protect their workforce and mitigate these catastrophic outcomes? The answer lies in building a deeply proactive safety culture. It is simply not enough to react after an injury happens. Entities have to develop meticulous, proactive safety management plans. They need to establish rigorous, mandatory training requirements for all staff, especially including those highly vulnerable contractors we were just talking about. And, maybe most importantly, conducting regular comprehensive safety audits is absolutely essential, right alongside maintaining the highest possible safety standards for both facilities and their vehicle fleets.
A really critical tool in these regular audits is tracking what's known as a near miss. As defined by the standards, a near miss is an unplanned event where no property damage, environmental damage, or personal injury actually occurred, but easily could have occurred if circumstances had shifted even just a tiny bit. Think of a near miss as a sort of corporate superpower. It's like a free warning from the universe. Tracking a near miss is an incredibly vital leading indicator. By studying the almosts, companies can adjust their training and protocols to actually prevent future tragedies before they ever happen.
Section 4. Measuring safety with data using SASB reporting metrics.
To truly audit safety proactively, we need standardized frameworks. Under the SASB Code 320A.1, companies must publicly report their total recordable incident rate, their fatality rate, and that near-miss frequency rate we just discussed. And definitely note the employee scope here.
This has to be tracked for both direct employees and contract employees. Under Code 320A.3, companies track the number of road accidents and incidents, again, for both direct and contracted employees, while they are on business use.
Now, these official SASB guidelines aren't just some internal spreadsheet. This is a standardized global accounting metric. By demanding this level of specific quantitative disclosure, the framework ensures industry-wide transparency and comparability. Basically, it allows investors, regulators, and the general public to clearly see which companies take safety seriously and which ones are lagging dangerously behind.
You might be wondering, how do you fairly compare the incident rates of a massive global waste conglomerate with a smaller, local mom-and-pop operator? The secret is a baseline multiplier, 200,000 hours. The standard breaks this down really simply. This number represents exactly 100 full-time employees working 40 hours a week for 50 weeks a year. By normalizing all the data against this 200,000-hour benchmark, the rates become perfectly comparable across the entire industry, for sure. It doesn't matter if a company has a fleet of 10 trucks or 10,000.
Section 5. Tracking Transportation Incidents. The Fleet Risk.
Because waste management relies so heavily on vast vehicle fleets navigating our neighborhoods every single day, tracking transportation safety demands a highly specialized focus. It's actually vital to legally and technically distinguish between an accident and an incident. The standard dictates that an accident is a severe occurrence where a commercial vehicle incurs disabling damage that actually requires it to be towed away from the scene or just abandoned. On the flip side, an incident is a bit broader. It covers any event causing a recordable medical injury, vehicle damage, or property damage while that vehicle is on business use.
However, precision is absolutely key when tracking this data. Note that under the standard, tracking these specific road events strictly excludes non-driving occurrences. So if an employee is simply getting into or out of a parked, stationary truck, or if they're merely loading or unloading cargo and an event occurs, it is excluded from the transportation accident and incident metric. Those events are tracked under general workplace safety instead. This keeps the fleet driving metrics laser-focused on actual road and traffic hazards.
So, by utilizing these standardized metrics to drive regular audits, by ensuring comprehensive training for every single worker, contractor or otherwise, and by meticulously tracking near misses and road incidents, waste management companies can do two incredible things at once. They can save lives, and they can shield their bottom line. So whether you're an operator managing a fleet, an investor analyzing risk, or honestly just someone passing a garbage truck on your morning commute, it leaves us all with one vital question. Is the safety culture you're looking at merely reacting to the last disaster, or is it proactively preventing the next one?